In this video, we're going to talk about how we solve an angle on a right triangle when we know two of the sides of the triangle. So this is when the angle that we're looking for is a non-right angle. So we're going to determine based on which angle and which sides we're working with, whether we use sine, cosine, or tangent, set up our trig ratio, and solve for our angle. So in this case, we're going to end up using inverse trig functions. Make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. So just a quick refresher on our trig functions and the ratios that go with them. So we got sine, cosine, tangent. If this is the angle we're dealing with, we have to look at, do we have opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse to help us set up that ratio and find the angle. So in this example, we've got theta, the missing angle that we're trying to find right here. The two sides that we know are the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. So we look at our SOHCAHTOA, adjacent and hypotenuse tells us we're using cosine. So we set up a ratio like this. So that means that we're going to end up having cosine of theta is equal to 4 over 9. Well, now we are trying to solve for theta, so we need to get rid of cosine. And it's not as simple as dividing, which is what it looks like we may need to do. The opposite of cosine is cosine inverse. So on your calculator, there should be a second or a shift button. So you're going to press that, and then the cosine button. And then 4 over 9 is the value that we're taking the inverse cosine of. So we take the inverse cosine of both sides. That gives us theta equals cosine inverse of 4 over 9. This is exactly what we typed in the calculator, and we should get 63.6 degrees. If your number is pretty far off of that number, you're probably in radian mode, so make sure to go to the mode on your calculator and change it to degree. One more example here. Now our angle is right here, and we have the opposite side and the adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent, we have tangent. So we're going to set up our tangent ratio. So we get tangent of theta equals 6 over 11. Again, we take the inverse of our trig function, so inverse tangent of 6 over 11. So we push second or shift on our calculator, and then tangent 6 over 11 should give you 28.6.